Welcome to the Dream Castle podcast, and this is the KOF 13 character series where we talk about a single character with the players that play them. And in this episode, we're talking about Gentsai or Gentsai or whichever pronunciation. But he's a member of the Team Psycho Soldier, and he's the old man, the drunk old man for those that want a visual description. And here talking about him is Sir Octopus. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Cool, man. Let's hop right into it, man. Can you give us a little brief summary on Chin and his playstyle?
Well, Chin's playstyle revolves heavily on their ability to do stance cancels. We'll get into that later, but stance is basically like you saw with Mei Li in 2002. Mm-hmm. You can change stance with ABC. Basically, Chin has the same properties to where he can change stance in the middle of a hit, so he can go ahead and keep on the pressure and just cancel the stance and go on to pressuring with more hits. But basically, he revolves as I see him as a high risk, a high reward character. He's a little bit slow in getting in if it doesn't have any meter.
Okay. All right, cool. Compared to other characters in the game, what are some of his strengths?
His strengths rely heavily on the combos. He has pretty very damaging combos. Actually, he can kill with 2 tries and 2 stocks. Actually, working on the combo for being able to kill with 1 stock also. His strengths also revolve around his normals, his guard pressure. As I mentioned, since he can cancel a hit into a run, basically his pressure when he's up close is pretty devastating. Since he's a small character, most players have a really hard time getting through that aspect of Chin having a really small body, and is one of the few characters who can combo. Chin, from what I know and from what I've seen, he can combo 5 light hits into a special, and from there go on to drive cancel and complete a full combo.
Okay, cool. What are his weaknesses?
As I mentioned, he's a slow character, and in order to do the real damage, you need to be able to have at least 1 stock or 1 drive. In this case, if you're not stance canceling heavy, because you're able to get 5 or even 6 heavy punches, or I'm sorry, 5 heavy punches and a heavy kick. So that would label Chin as one of the most damaging characters in all the game. But any character like Leona or other characters that are able to zone him out with low hits are going to be a problem for Chin.
Okay, cool. All right, why don't we go into his normals, and why don't we start with his standing attacks? And can you tell me just some of his best pokes, both for offense and defense?
Okay, well, talking about standing A, standing A has a property that it can cancel 1 standing A into the other, so you can cancel the animation of 1 in order to get into the other standing A. You should be able to get 3 of this standing A when you're up close. And it's actually, I've used this when you're in a correct range and you have the opponent cornered, where you can keep trying out standing A without having the opponent block or just outside his guard range, and just keep drawing him out. It's really difficult for the opponent to be able to do a quarter circle forward or a DP or able to jump out of that. So standing A is a good counter poke and a good poke because it can be it can be whiffed canceled into any special. The special that I like to cancel it with is going to be the parry. Basically, it's a counter hit. Like it has like an auto guard that if you hit it, you'll be launched up into the air, allowing Chen to give you a complete combo. Now the that's one of the best pokes. The other one that I use heavily, it's the standing C or the far C. It's gonna be like a back fisted. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like swing back fist
Yeah,
kind of
like a
punch.
swing with the back of his fist.
Right. Does it move
Uh,
forward a little bit or?
yeah, it does move him forward, but only if you hit the character. So in this case, you can do far C, cancel into the stance, and another far C or anything that you like. Uh, but I like this move because it covers a wide range horizontally and above Shin's head. So this is going to take out most of the hops, if not all of the hops. And if you get a counter hit off of it, if the opponent's jumping and you get a counter hit, you can cancel the far C into his down forward B, which is gonna be the kick, much like Gato's kick from Gato.
Okay.
Much like that, it's gonna throw you up into the air, giving you like 2 or 3 reps.
Cool. Okay. Any other standing normals that new players should try to mess around with?
In close range, you might want to mess with standing B or standing light kick because it's a low detection hit, so they need to block below. The other one, actually, all of Shen's normals are considered good pokes, and the standing B or standing heavy kick has a pretty good range, and it deals about 85 damage or something like that. So you can also use it as a poke because if you leave the button pressed, it's going to lower the recovery time and put you into the kick stance that you can cancel with both kicks.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, that should be all for his spokes on the ground.
Okay. Cool. Why don't we move to his crouching normals and which of any or all of these are useful?
Okay, I don't use the crouching A, mostly because I do consider that it's slower than the standing A, and it covers a less range. So I really do consider the standing A to be used over the crouching A or crouching light punch because since Shin is a low character, his standing A is gonna hit any crouching character also. So just to use the standing A, it should be better than the crouching one. As for the standing B or standing light kick, that actually moves you forward, either on hit, on block, or on whiff. So you can do standing A, down B, standing A, down B, standing A, and those 5 hits are going to connect. Also, his crouching high punch or fierce punch,
Yeah.
it has been nerfed from other previous KOF versions.
Oh yeah, I remember in like '98 it was pretty good for anti-air.
Yeah, 98, even on 2002, where it can be canceled either in the active or in the recovery frames, which was pretty sick. But right now, it only instead of going full body upwards, it only does like a little elbow upwards above his head. So it doesn't really cover much space. But it does give you the advantage that if it lands a counter hit against the hop, again, you can cancel with the down forward B, and it's gonna give you about 3 reps if you're close to the screen. And his kick, his sweep, it's actually pretty slow, and it has some high recovery time. So only use it if you're planning to punish a hop or anything related to a jump.
Cool.
Because it does really take a long time to recover.
And it's not cancelable.
not cancelable with any kind of special or desperation move. It does cover a wide range horizontally, but again, I wouldn't use it. I only use it when I do a stance cancel pressure. I do C, then cancel to stance, another C, cancel, and then a sweep. But any character that has a fast reaction special, like Mr. Karate's desperation moves, or say in this case King's DP, they're gonna be able to punish you.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Well, let's go into his jumping attacks, and yeah, which one of these are pretty useful in different situations?
Okay, his jumping attacks. I suggest the for going air to air. I recommend the jumping jab, which is it has a high detection, but only when going air to air. If you're trying to do a jump in with standing jab, they're gonna be able to punish you with any low light kick, because the hit detection's high and it's actually horizontal up, so it has no mid coverage or low coverage. So only do it when you're trying to grab an opponent out of the air, and if you're trying to do a jump in, do it with the with the low kick, which it has like a 35 to 45 degree angle, which is going to be an overhead, and it says it's really like a spike that you're gonna see when Shin does that kick. It's pretty much like Kensu's low air kick.
Oh, okay.
If you're trying to cover a lot of space, you might want to do it with the jumping high kick or heavy kick. It's going to cover his low and his mid section. It's not going to cover the upper section. But this is good in order to cover a wide range to counter an aerial poke. It does cross up, but it's really hard to cross up with the jumping D. This is why I use the standing C over it. Standing C is almost always going to cross up, much like Benimaru's jumping D will.
Okay.
So this one has a really high priority when trying to cross up.
Right. Okay.
And as for the blowback, it causes high guard stun, and it covers a wide range in the air. Also, the low, the upper, the low, the mid, and upper front angles of Shin's body.
Oh, okay. The jump CD. Right.
Yeah, the jumping blowback, jumping CD.
Okay. Cool, man. Any thoughts on his stand CD?
Stand CD, I don't recommend that you use it. It's one of the slowest in all the game. It's not the slowest. And I don't actually use it when doing emergency blowback. That's by spending one stock while you're in guard stun. I don't use it because it takes a long time to deliver, and the angle that it comes out, it's not going to hit most of the jumping opponents as any emergency blowback will. But this one, it's not really useful. I only use it if I'm doing like a lot of jabs. I'll do that one at the end and use the guard stun property or the guard stun in order to sneak a drink into Chin.
Okay, cool. All right. What can you tell us about his normal throw? I heard it's pretty special, especially in the corner.
Yeah. Again, as I was mentioning before, I do consider Shin to be somewhat broken, but only against. I've actually seen Frio now fall against Shin, and a lot of good players fall against him. You saw Bala at Evo play against Matt KOF. He had a really hard time against against Shin also. And this is because if he does get a throw on you and you're near the corner, if you're near the corner and not in the range of his back fist move, he can just go ahead and EX desperation move on you, and you're gonna get a substantial amount of damage out of it. So in this case, the 10% damage that you were gonna get for the grab, which is 100 damage, and from there the actual damage of the whole desperation move. Now, if you are in the range of his back fist, which is quarter circle back punch, again, only the light version is going to hit him. So just go ahead and do that, and by spending one drive cancel, you are assured at least 33% of damage.
Wow.
It's also one of the fastest that I've seen.
Okay, cool.
It will cause a soft knockdown instead of a hard one.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
So you can emergency evade it if you don't want to deal with jumping pressures or anything like that.
All right. Anything else about his throw that you like to mention?
No, basically that's it. That's the special property of Shin being able to capitalize off of the grab, and from there you can just go ahead and try out any number of combos off of it. You're gonna see that it really pays off to spend a drive or a meter. Well, actually a drive, because you need to spend a drive in order to capitalize with a full combo.
Okay. All right. Why don't we go into his command normals, and why don't we start with his down 4D? Can you tell us about that?
Okay. Well, the down forward D is a slow overhead. Shin is going to be in the air when he does this. He's going to miss. A couple of crushing shorts are going to miss him while he's doing this move. But this is really ambiguous, because the actual fact that he misses or whiffs on a couple of crushing shorts while he's doing the overhead would mean that he's actually on the air while he's doing it. But it's not like that. I've tried it a couple of times with the recording function of the game. And it seems that any normal grab or special grapple, it's going to grab him out of the overhead. So that's really weird, because he's not actually in the air. If you hold the overhead, or I'm sorry, hold the high kick or the heavy kick, you can cancel the overhead while it's in mid-air, in order for you to start with the low mix-ups or with a grab that will lead to a full combo. Another property that it has is that if it hits, it's going to put you in the punching stance if you're able to press the punch quickly. And from there, again, you can cancel into the kick stance and start a full combo from there with HD and all that. But the drawback that it has is that it is unsafe on block. If you're trying to do the overhead after like a close C or close D, they're gonna be able to punish you with an uppercut or a DP. And if they block the overhead, they can grab you with a normal throw, a command throw, or just any invincible move like Mr. Karate's DP. Yeah, you mentioned that. You see that I mentioned Mr. Karate a lot because he has a lot of broken moves.
Right. Okay.
That's the best example that I can give everybody, since everybody knows Mr. Karate's DP.
Okay.
Or Mr. Karate's desperation move. And that would be for the overhead. Again, you can cancel the overhead or just keep on going with the high-low mix-ups. As I mentioned, the punches from the punch stance can be canceled into special moves or into command normals, but not into HD. You need to cancel into a kick stance cancel the kickstands into a normal hit, and from there going to HD.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, well, basically, the stance that I was talking about is by doing down down B or down down D,
Mm.
and what it does, it puts Shin in a stance where he's only standing on one leg, and instead of running or hopping, well, instead of running or doing a backdash, if you hold forward, he's just going to do a quick hop. You can keep it pressed, the joystick, and it's gonna keep doing hops, either backwards or forwards. It's going to be faster as if you were only walking, but it's gonna be slower than if you would dash. So this move is only used, well, at least on my end, I only use it in order to keep up the pressure. Say in this case, you input the kick stance by doing down down B, down down D.
Yeah.
But in order to remove that stance, you need to press B and D at the same time. So in order to get past all that hassle of doing down down B and then doing BD at the same time, in order to keep running and hitting the opponent, what I do is I just do down down BD, and that would put you in kick stance and remove it at the same time. So basically, you can do a close C or close heavy punch, do down down BD at the same time, and then do another heavy punch, and it's always gonna hit on a combo.
Okay.
Also, when you're in kick stance, if you press D or the high kick, it's going to be faster than if you would do standing B without the stance. It's gonna be faster, but it has a little bit shorter range, and the damage is different than the normal standing B. Faster. If you press a punch, it's going to remove that stance also. So keep that in mind. That's one of the ways in order to remove it. If you're in kick stance and if you hold down, it's gonna put Shin in the punching stance, which we're gonna talk about later. Also in his kick stance, you can do the down forward B without having to do down forward B. If you just press B, you're gonna get the same result. The same kick's gonna come out, but at a different speed also.
Okay. Damn. Oh, this sounds kind of confusing, man. I was getting a little confused back there, man.
Yeah, when you listen back to the recording a couple of times, and you're gonna be able to get the idea.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're talking about his punch stance. How do you do that one?
Okay, punch stance is gonna be down down A.
Okay.
Or down down C. Now there is no special set of buttons that is going to remove the stance. The only way that I know of removing the stance, and this also goes for another method for removing it while during kick stance, would be to hold up the joystick. You're gonna jump, but it's going to remove the stance, or to do a special move, say in this case the back fist or the barrel roll or one of the parries, that is going to remove the stance also. Now, what this does, it's going to throw Shin is going to throw to the ground. It's going to remove all the vulnerability that he would have at the high and mid detection. He's only going to be affected by low hits. In the case that I was talking about Dulon, Dulon is one of the only characters that I know of, if not the only one, that can hit Shin while he's in the punch stance with crouching A. No other character that I've seen can do that. So you might want to take a look into that when you're playing as Dulon with Shin. What this does also, it's going to be an instant move. So if you're gonna get hit by anything, you just can go ahead and go down down A, and it's going to whiff it. I use this a lot against blocking opponents. Uh, if I know they're blocking and I know they're going to throw out an emergency blowback by spending 1 meter, I just do a close C and cancel into the punch stance, which is going to evade any blowback. And from there, I can just go ahead and start a combo. Also, I do this once in a while when I get a jump in. If anybody jumps in on Chin, except for Iori's jumping C, Chen Wu's jumping C, or any jumping C that hits low, or the hit goes into the ground before the body.
Real deep.
Yeah, those are going to affect Shen while he's in the punching stance. But any other character that you see that they come up at you with regularly with a jumping heavy kick, you can just go ahead and do down A, and it's going to whiff it, and from there you can grab the opponent or start a combo. Also, the ability that this has, and this also goes for the kick stance. If you do forward C or forward heavy punch, it's going to grab the opponent. It's going to do the animation of a command grab, but it's not going to be a command grab. This animation is only so you can get punished for that intent of grabbing the opponent. But you can do this in order to get the opponent into the corner and stuff like that, and from there start a combo. Well, as you can see, anything that Shen does is going to start a combo. Also, while you're in the punching stance, if you press A, it's going to Chin is going to get up. He's going to lose the invincibility that he has in the stance, but if he's going to stand up and do 2 hits that deal around 25 damage each, or 20, and on the second hit, or on the first hit if you want, you can either cancel into another stance, or you can do a command normal, or you can do a special move. What I do after the first 2 hits, I do another punching stance, and then another 2 hits. Then I put the kick stance and remove it at the same time, obviously. Do standing C, another cancel, standing C, and another cancel, standing C into the down forward, which deals to a pretty high damage. But basically, this is all that Chin does in the punching stance. Also, if you're in punching stance and you press A and C at the same time, you're gonna get the same two punches, but the second hit is going to drive the opponent towards you. So you can get a little bit of an advantage in that. I don't really use it because I haven't been able to use it consistently. I don't really have any use for that move. It drives you forward, so you can do another rep at the same hits, but it's only going to lower the damage output in a combo of 7 or 8 or more hits.
All right, let's get into the special moves, and you talked about this a little earlier. I think is down forward B and B again. So it's like down forward B is though that's his like little up kicks or whatever, right?
Down forward B, it's gonna be a kick that drives Chin forward, and it hits mid and high detection, and it comes at an angle, a diagonal angle. What this does is the first kick comes out faster than when you're in kick stance. But what it does is that you can keep doing reps as long as the opponent is in the air. So if you're able to hit the opponent just at the tip of your kick of the down forward, you're gonna be able to get 5 of those at least. 5 of those, although I don't recommend that you do it in long combos, because since it only does about 20 or 25 damage, and any hit that you do will reduce the next hit's damage by 5%. It's not really advisable to do it at the start of a combo or to do it too many times during a combo, because any hit is going to start doing like 5 damage at the end, 5 or 4 damage, and it's gonna be spending your drive bar when you can be using it on any other move that does at least 60 or 80 damage. Also, just like Kyo has, EX Kyo has the ability to do the scissor kicks,
Yeah.
one after the other. Shin also has that property that you can do the one kick, and before he lands, you can press the kick again, and it's gonna do another one, which is going to deal like 70 or 65 damage, and it has a slower recovery time, but if you're able to land it, that will be like doing a full fierce hit, and then after you land, you can do another close C, which is going to add to the value of the damage.
Okay.
And as I mentioned before, they have the follow up, such as EX Kyo has it, that you can do the second kick, but it's gonna be unsafe, unblocked, and if the opponent was in the air while you grab them with the first kick, you're gonna be able to capitalize with another standing C before the opponent hits the ground.
Okay. Is there a EX version of this move?
Yeah, we have the EX version of the punches from the punch stance, and we have the EX version for the down forward, which this is gonna be much like 13 Kyo scissor kicks, where you don't have to input another kick for the follow up. This one is gonna be automatic, and it's gonna be mostly safe on block. I say mostly because it's not gonna be safe on block if you're on the corner.
Okay.
Also, you can combo off of this one, and also off the normal down forward B, out of light punches or light kicks.
Okay. All right.
So
Cool.
you can do crouching B A B into down forward B B, and it's going to launch the opponent upwards. Where you can do a barrel roll with the B version,
Mhm.
and then keep following up with the scissor kicks.
Okay.
Only one at a time. So just don't do the follow up yet.
Okay. All right. Let's go into his quarter circle back punch, and yeah. How does this move look like? I forgot.
Well, up here, down here actually, we just call that the slap. Was basically like a back fist punch.
Mhm.
That should be like 9 or 8 frames fast. So you can combo off of it with any low or any high kick or high punch. Lows and highs are gonna be able to capitalize with this with this move, and it's gonna be one of your best moves that you're gonna use for drive cancels. It's not gonna be safe on block. That's one of the things I wanted to mention. It's gonna be like a -10 or minus 15 or something like that. So any special DM that's fast enough is gonna be able to punish you. So don't do it point blank. Try to do it as far as possible if you want to do it deliberately on block. And what else? What else? It doesn't serve the purpose of an anti-air. I would suggest that you do the down C or the standing C.
Okay. All right. How's the EX?
The EX version is going to be completely invincible, even at startup, and in the active frames, and it's only going to be vulnerable in the recovery phase. But this one, basically, it's actually this is one of Shin's fastest moves. This is going to be 7 frame special move. It only has I don't know, like 1 or 2 recovery frames, so it can be punished by command throws that are 1 frame of speed.
Okay, nice.
I actually use this one as an anti-air since it's completely invincible.
Oh, okay. It seemed like it probably would. Cool, man. All right. Let's move on to quarter circle back kick, and this is his kind of a counter move that you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, the little counter hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between the low and the high version. The low, or with the one with the low kick,
Oh, with
uh,
light kick.
the light kick. Yeah,
Okay.
the light kick is going to cover anything that hits high or mid, and this is tensions front, up, or back.
Okay.
So it's completely invincible. One frame startup, counter hit. Uh, the B version is going to launch the opponent upward, where you can capitalize with a downward roll, and from there start a full combo. Uh, Now there is a drawback because the recovery time it's really painful actually. If if they're able to predict the counter, they're not gonna throw out anything, and they're gonna be able to punish you fully.
Okay.
So do use this move. It's really useful. I've used it against. This is another method in order to get past sonars that use fireballs, because this one actually eats out the fireball and it doesn't do any chip damage to you. I've actually used this against Chen. Uh, while he's waking up, I just do a standing C in order to bait out the Super Saiyan DM,
Hmm.
and just cancel into the counter, the B version, and it is going to counter the explosion. It is not going to launch Chen upwards because he's invincible in that state, but it's going to allow you to remain in front of him, so you can punish with high kicks and high punches and all that.
Okay.
This can also be used to get past, say, Maxima's Vulcan Punch, or any other move that is used in a block string.
Yeah.
If you're able to counter a fireball from close range, it is going to launch the opponent upward. So just keep that in mind, and don't overuse this move. The V version only uh, it only covers the low detection hits. So anything that is, if the opponent presses down B or down D, they are going to get countered by this. This one doesn't launch the opponent upward, but instead does like the same kick that you would get from a close D, but it's going to. I don't know if you remember Garo. When you get a counter hit, the opponent does like a little recoil backward. Okay, that's the same thing you're gonna get with Chin. It's gonna get like double hit stun on the opponent, so you can actually follow up with the barrel roll. This is quarter forward B, and it is going to hit the opponent even though the move is really slow. Either one of the counters is going to give you a move for free without having to cancel. So the one that launches the opponent upward actually does like a backflip and takes some time to recover. But in that recovery time, you can do like a back fist or down forward B or anything that you want. Anything that you want. Same goes for the B version. The only bad thing about it is that you're not gonna get the same combos that you would get from the one that launches the opponent upward.
Okay.
Now the D version, I'm sorry, the EX one,
Yeah.
uh, doesn't run back. Say in this case, the normal ones do give you a lapse of about a second and a half for countering a hit. Shin just walks backwards in the and tippy toes, and then falls down where they can punish you. But this one doesn't. This one only does the backflip, and is able to counter low and high detection hits.
Low and overheads.
Low overheads and mid.
Okay. Oh, okay. Three of them.
This will cover anything.
Okay.
Well, it's not going to cover a couple of desperation moves and ES desperation moves. I tried it against Mr. Karate's desperation move, and it didn't work.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, but I do think, I haven't tried it yet, but I do think it's going to be able to block Wajai's Dragon Dance. I think it's going to be able to be blocked by the light version. So I'll try it out and let you know later on. Also, instead of doing one kick, it's going to do a series of about four punches or 4 hits. It's going to leave the opponent crippled. In this case, the same cripple that you would get from Takuma's TNT punches, or the same cripple that you would get from Rolf's EX Hammer. I think it's called Hammer. The one that leaves the opponent in a state where he gets into its knees and just falls down. So you are able to get the barrel roll with the D version even, which gives you about 2% more damage than the light version.
Okay.
And again, a start a full combo from it. The heavy version, it is going to block anything that is done with a down B or a down D. And the light version, it is not going to cover that. But there's a thing with Dulon, as I mentioned in another segment. His low punch, his crushing A, it is marked as a low detection hit. This is the only one that I know of. So if you do the parry for the mid hits, which is the light version, it is not going to affect Dulon if he does a crushing short. That's the only one that I know of. So just keep that in mind.
All right. Let's talk about I think one is kind of more I want to say more useful, but a move that helps him out a lot is his drinking move, which is reverse dragon punch. And can you tell us about this move? Like what things it increases or decreases for him and the opponent?
I didn't play the arcade version, but they did tell me that Chin lost defense properties when he took a drink. I don't know if it's true or not, but this is not the case anymore in the console version. Any drink that you take is going to give you 10% more damage. So if you have a maximum of five drinks, so if you get the 5th one, any move that you make is going to deal 50% more damage without losing any defense at all. Now, they do stack, but you can also lose the drinks. Anytime that your body anytime that you are caused a hard or a soft knockdown, you are going to lose a drink.
Oh, okay.
Even if you evade before falling. But if you are in the middle of a combo and they decide to reset and you land on your feet, you are not going to lose the drink. Also, what happens with the drink is that you gain another super. There's another super where Shin pushes his body forward and hits you with his upper body. The light version, it's only going to cause a hard knockdown. Well, and I say only because it deals quite a lot of damage. But the strong version, or the heavy version, it's going to be completely invincible at startup, and it's going to launch the opponent what we call a wire, which is this is when the opponent's launched to the to the wall.
Oh, the counter wire. Yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Wall
yeah,
bounce.
and it's launched to the wall or thrown to the wall, and then it's launched towards you, which is going to put them in a juggle state, where you can still combo off of it. Almost any combo that you start with that wire, uh, it's going to lead to about 80% damage, but you need to be able to capitalize off of it. Since any time that I've done it, uh, I'm always left in a position where it's really tricky to get a combo off of it. So what I can recommend is that if you do get that wall bounce, the first thing that you do is do down forward B, so you can get a more stable opponent and a better fix of your own position. But basically that should be all for the drink. If you're in far range, just drink anything that you like.
Cool, man. All right.
Also, as I was mentioning with Wajai,
Hmm?
when you drink, it makes the opponent second guess most of the strategies that he has. So either he's going to become over aggressive or over defensive, and you can spot that in the first 5 to 10 seconds of the game after you drink, if he's going to be defensive or if he's going to be aggressive, and you can take advantage of that.
All right, cool. All right, well, what's the next special move we have up? Is it
The what we call here the panda roll.
the panda roll?
Yeah,
All right, cool. And that's half circle forward kick, right?
yeah, that's a half circle forward.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a slow move. Also, the high version or the heavy version does get around a lot of fireballs, and there's a difference between which fireballs the low one and the high one is going to be able to evade. So you might want to play around with any character that throws fireballs and see which ones the high and the low misses. Uh, this one, when it hits, it's going to give you the opportunity to do either a slap, which is going to be the quarter circle back punch, or the counter, which is going to be quarter circle back kick. For free, you don't need to spend any drive on this. But if you decide to do a DM or a desperation move, it is going to cost you a drive stock. Also, this is gonna be your main tool for combo extensions, or actually combo for follow ups. The extension is gonna be the back fist. That's gonna be your best one because it's a fast hit, which is gonna be able to hit the opponent just before it lands and allowing you to cancel into one of the panda rolls. The heavy one travels longer, and does I think 20 more damage. It should be like 20 more damage. Yeah, from what I can see here in the notes that I have, the normal one is gonna be 70 damage, and the high one is gonna be 90. So yeah, it's 20 damage difference. But it also it is going to lose a couple of frames more on block. So it is going to be punishable by a lot of moves. Anything like 10 frames or less is going to be able to punish you. So usually what I do is I just cancel for the back fist or for the down forward B. And from there, just force the opponent to block again and just get into a neutral state where I'm only behind by 4 or less frames of disadvantage. Now, as for the EX version travels pretty much as far as the high version, and it's completely invincible except in the initial frames. Uh, so if they already have a meaty or a hit that's already out while you're starting the while you're waking up and want to do a panel roll EX, you are going to get hit. It's going to be a counter, and you're going to lose that stock. So only do it in response to a fireball or response to anything you're going to be able to punish. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of a hit, because since this is completely invincible, it really doesn't matter what they throw at you. Unless the invincibility of what they throw is going to be longer than the roll itself.
Okay. All right. Cool. And
Also, this is one of the moves, just as the same as the back fist EX. At this EX, it's also not going to hit an airborne opponent if he is falling down after a soft knockdown. You can only get that with the normal specials. I'm sorry, with the specials and not the EX. If you want to hit the opponent while he's in a soft knockdown with the back fist, it has to be right after a drive cancel. It cannot be done by itself.
okay. All right. Cool. Anything else about this move that people should know?
Anything else about this one in particular? But only leaves you at a disadvantage of I think it's gonna be like 2 frames or something like that. Let me check real quick. 1 frame actually.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
Yeah, and if you're since it's going to drive the opponent a little bit back, it is highly unlikely you're gonna get punished by a grab.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's get into the desperation moves. Why don't we start with the that headbutt, 2 quarter circles forward punch?
Yeah, that one. The normal one they don't do a lot of damage, to be honest. And I don't really use the one stock desperation move unless it's after a grab in the corner, because that's the only time that you can actually get the full damage off of it, and you can actually feel good about yourself after landing after a grab. It doesn't have any invincibility at all, as I mentioned. The EX one does have initial invincibility, and if you're able to grab the opponent in the air just above Shin's head when you start doing the desperation move, just as he's about to fall down, because you actually fall down before the opponent. Just as your opponent's about to fall down, you can actually land standing C just before the opponent's about to hit the ground. But that's the only thing that I see that you can hit after that, either that or a standing A.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, well, I just want to really, so this gets embedded in everybody's head. After the wall bounce, your best choice for continuing a combo would be to do a down forward A, so you can get a stable opponent and have a better understanding of the position that you have at that moment. Because as I mentioned, just to recap, the heavy version has invincibility, and it's a little bit slower than the light version. But the light version, they're gonna be basically the same damage, but you're gonna get a hard knockdown from the light version and a wall bounce from the heavy version. And you can only do this desperation moves if you have at least one drink in your system.
Okay. All right, cool. Is that about it for his desperation moves? You think?
That should be it for the desperation move.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the Neomax, and this is his double quarter circle forward, light kick, heavy kick, and
Yeah,
that's his little fire move, right?
yeah. This is one of the most fun desperation. I'm sorry, Neomaxes in the
Yeah,
game.
yo, I remember. I think I was watching the House of Crack stream or whatever that they have in the East Coast, and
Yeah, I heard about it.
yeah, the dude he called it Gunstar Heroes.
Oh God.
Yeah, what can you tell us about this Neomax?
Okay, it can be done either in the air or on the ground. As far as I know, I haven't been able to prove any invincibility on it. Um, it can it can be thrown into any direction that you like, down, up, at the sides, or diagonals. Um, and if you do it on the ground in the middle of a combo, you can actually follow up with the barrel roll, panda roll, the light version, and just keep hitting the opponent. And you can, if you have the drives or you have the stocks, you can even land another desperation move after it. Uh, Also, you can't hit the opponent after a grab with the desperation move. It does take a while to come out. And this is one of the interesting things. If you do the Neomax, and this is actually something that I'm trying to find out, and I haven't really gotten an answer for. If you do the Neomax in the corner, and before your character has an opportunity to become neutral, uh, you do the desperation move. The whole Neomax is going to count as one hit. It doesn't matter if it does 20 or 30 or 40 hits. It's only going to count as one. So it's only going to reduce the damage for the desperation move that you're going to follow up with by 5%. But if you do let your character go neutral, if you're able to move it before doing your desperation move, it is only going to do 40%. I guess only going to do 40% damage. Now, I don't know why this happens. I want to express something else that I've seen with Kim. If you do the DM that launches the opponent upwards, and before your character has a chance to become neutral, you do the desperation move that beats the opponent up.
Yeah.
You're gonna get more damage that way than if you would let your character go neutral and then do the DM. I don't know why that happens. They're the same moves, and I'm trying to figure it out. Hopefully, somebody has an answer to that. Now, we were talking about the Neomax. We already covered the air and the ground version. You can get a follow-up after either one of the two. Or you can just go ahead and reset the opponent, whichever one.
All right, cool. All right. Anything else to express about the Neomax?
No, well, it's pretty straightforward. You can play around with it. Even if you're in the screen hitting the opponent and do the Neomax, you can point away from the opponent, and it's gonna hit him anyway.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's move on, man. To just a few combos or at least some starters for some new Chin players, if you could.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of quick combo starters. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a few of them without using drive. It's just gonna be if you want to add the jumping, you can add it. It's not going to affect this combos. This couple of combos that I'm gonna dictate to you. Just go ahead and do close C into down forward B, and it's going to launch the opponent upward, allowing you to do a back fist A or a quarter circle back A. And from there, you can drive cancel into anything that you like. The other ones would be crouching B, standing A, crouching B, down forward BD, which is going to launch the opponent upward. As soon as you fall, go ahead and do a panda roll, the B version, and from there start doing the down forward B as many times as you like. Another one would be standing C into the panda roll, the EX version, and that will connect. It's faster than the B or the D version, so you can go ahead and connect with that. And from there, you can do another panda roll, the B version, and start doing the down B reps as much as you want, or as much as the height will allow it. If you want to get tricky, you can practice the stance cancels and just go standing C, down BD, standing C, down BD, standing D. And from there, you can activate HD and go on to a combo from there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can actually get C. Well, starting from the air, you can get C, D into HD. So pretty high damage character.
Wow. All right. Cool, man. Let's talk a little bit about his HD combos. What are your thoughts on his HD combos as a whole? Like the damage, the amount of meters, execution, like screen positioning. Like what are your thoughts on his HD combos?
Okay, HD combos are more efficient when you're like 60% or less from the corner, or in this case, if you're 40% away from your corner, or more. They have pretty high damage. Most imagine the normal combo that you would get with Chen Wu in the corner, which is gonna be the reps for Fireball A, Fireball B, and 4 reps of that. Basically, that's the same damage that you're gonna get with Chen if you are about 60% from the screen. I'm gonna give you a couple of combos. This is one that I came up with, I don't know, like 5 months ago, which doesn't require any timing at all. Doesn't require you to do the down forward down forward B, which is really the only curse that Shin has in the HD combos, because they lower down the overall damage. You need to do the back fist A into the panda roll D, then another back fist A into panda roll B, or the light version. And from there, you're going to see that the opponent, it's high enough for you to be able to recover from the roll and do another back fist A without canceling. It's going to be back fist A, panda roll B. And the opponent's still going to be high enough so you can do another back fist A, panda roll D, back fist A, panda roll D into Neomax. And after the Neomax is done, you can do panda roll B into the down forward B as much as you want. And if you don't do stance cancels at the beginning, you're at least guaranteed a 95% damage.
Oh, wow.
With 2 stocks.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty high damage, and it's actually the easiest combo that Shin has, and one of the most damaging, I think.
Wow.
Aside from that, if you're all the way to the corner and you want to do an HD combo, you are going to need to practice with the down forward with down forward B, so you can cut the opponent's animation of going backward.
Okay.
Since this one launches you forward, it's going to give you a chance to do another back fist into the continuation of the rolls.
Okay, cool, man. All right, let's move on to some strategy, some strategy and tactics for a new chin player or someone that's trying to level their chin up a bit. Why don't we start from far range, and then you can go to mid, and then to close, and then to um, if they're in the corner, things to do in the corner, and ways to get out the corner. And you can also talk about um, ways to defend yourself, and um, ways to start and mount an offense.
Okay. Well, we're gonna start with the far range. Uh, Basically, same as the Wajai. Drink as much as you want. It doesn't matter if you have the five drinks already. It does build meter, so you can get a full stock with about, I don't know, like 12 or 14 drinks. So just keep doing that. It's gonna drive the opponent crazy. He's gonna come at you with everything he has. So just be prepared uh, to counter the a rash opponent. That's usually what happens. You're not gonna see this kind of behavior in the top level competitors. They're usually gonna be a little bit more calm, or they're gonna come at you one step at a time. But basically, yeah, drink doesn't hurt.
All right, cool.
Now for the mid range, uh, actually, Chin doesn't do good in mid range since his limbs aren't actually uh, that long. So if you're in mid range, just try and get in with the EX Panda roll, which is gonna be your best option. But don't do it that often, because if they do jump neutral jump as you do the EX roll, um, they're going to punish you really bad. Now, yeah, there's no real strategy for the mid game. Uh, as for what I mentioned, he doesn't really do well since he doesn't have long limbs.
Okay.
Or fireballs or DPs or moves like that for that matter. As for close range, this is really where he excels, and this is where you want to be with Shin. You don't want to be far range or mid range or anything like that. Uh, with the close range, you can mix it up with the low light kick, which is gonna be not it's not real fast, but it moves you forward. So you can mix up with the couple of light hits and light kicks, and from there cancel into the overhead, the down forward D. Either you can let it rip, or just keep the button pressed so you can cancel the overhead and keep hitting low and just try to keep the opponent guessing. You might want to cut your pressure once in a while. Just go ahead and stop it in order to bait a DP or an EX move or something like that. It's gonna leave the opponent vulnerable. But basically, that's it. Try to do stance cancels. This is really, you need to do stance cancels if you want to use Shin. Because if you want to use Chin, you want to use the hits that take away like 11% of the guard gauge with every standing high punch. You can get like three or four of those at a time. So most of the time, you're gonna remove about 40% of the opponent's guard gauge.
All right, cool, man. What should someone do if or what should a chin player do if they're in the corner? What kind of options they have to get out once they sense or feel that the opponent's pressure is kind of like loosening up.
Yeah, like overwhelming.
Well, not overwhelming, but like, what should they do if if the opponent's pressure is kind of like I said, kind of winding down a little bit. Because, like, say if you're blocking and stuff, like, what can he do to get out once he or you sense a gap?
Okay, well, you have two safe, well, not safe options, but two invincible um, invincible one frame options that you have, which is going to be the counter. You can either, depending on the situation, you can use the low or the high counter. So you have the counter that you can use, and you also have the down A, which is it's going to remove any vulnerability from the top or from the middle of or the midsection, and it's only going to allow low hits. So if they do that, if they're jumping in, and you do see like a high kick or anything that doesn't go all the way down, and you don't see a deep hit, just go down A, and as soon as they land, because most of them are not going to expect it. So as soon as they land, just go forward C, which is going to grab the opponent, and that is going to relieve the pressure. If you do have it a stock, and the opponent jumps in, you can either do the EX back fist, or if you sense that you're able to pull her off, or there's no melee attacks, you can do the EX panda roll. Either one of the two would be fine.
Okay. All right. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. Also, what you can do is the standing A. Standing A is really fast, and it goes above Shin's head.
Okay. Cool. All right. What are some favorable team positions that Chin should be placed in?
Well, any position actually is fine depending on your gameplay. I find that in my style, Shin plays better in anchor.
Okay.
Because in anchor, I already have a full HD bar. I have like 2 or 3 stocks that I can work with in order to. The stocks are mostly in order to get close to the opponent with the EX panda rolls. But the back fist also works really well in order to keep up the pressure, destroy the guard gauge, and actually just narrows down any. It limits the opponent to what they can do against Shin once you have those stocks. As for second position, you can use the first character in order to build the same amount of meter and the same amount of drive, because after you finish the first round, you're guaranteed at least 70% of your drive gauge, and at least a stock and a half of powers or power stocks. What else? Now, as for Shin playing on point, he really does work well on point, but they respect Shin more if he has a little bit of stock.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Okay, I would understand that.
Although what you can do is if you're playing him on point, you can just go ahead and, as soon as you land a blowback, go ahead and take 2 drinks. And that'll end the match a lot faster. Okay. The opponent's going to be really hesitant to get into Shin since he doesn't have any stocks to work with or any drive.
Okay. All right, cool, man. Let's move on and talk about just some favorable and unfavorable matchups. Which characters Chin is weak against, you think?
I have not been able to get over duel on if I don't have any stocks. So that leads me to believe that any fast character able to zone out Shin. It's gonna be able to do it if Shin doesn't have any stocks. But to be honest, there is no non-favorable matchup for Shin if he has at least one stock to work with.
Okay. All right. What are some characters that Chen is strong against?
Well, strong against um, any characters that don't have instant DPs.
Oh yeah, you did mention that before.
Yeah, any character that doesn't have instant DP, or because I've also had trouble with Shin against any character that has long limbs. That'll get into Shin.
Like maybe Billy.
Yeah, like Billy, Leona, actually King is also able to zone out Shin really well with the standing low kick. Since it does have a low hit detection, it is able to zone him out. If I try to jump and she has a stock, she's gonna be able to DP or tornado kick, EX tornado kick, and it's just a really hard matchup when they have invincible moves, because your offense relies on that actually to be offensive, to do stance cancels in order to keep up the pressure of the standing C's or the down D. So that basically sums up the favorable and non-favorable matchups.
Okay. All right. Cool. Why don't we talk about some popular Chin practitioners that surround in the KOF community that a new player should try to research?
Okay, if you want to research new players, I suggest that you take on the look up for any matches related to France. France, I mean. You're gonna be able to see Frio now. You're gonna see Fox, and you're gonna see a lot of cool Shin players because Shin is like it's like the holy grail over there.
Michelle is good too, or Michelle's.
I haven't heard of Michelle's.
Really? Or Mitchell's, or damn, it's I think
Mitchell.
Okay. Oh,
Well,
and
I know the Mitchell from SoCal.
yeah, I think that's him. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that should be him. I don't really remember the names of the players. I also played Shin myself, and you can also look up Matt KOF. If you put just Evo 2012 on YouTube, it's most likely you're gonna get the first video.
Cool.
That should be for the finals. Matt KOF versus Bala. You're gonna see how Matt KOF plays. That's gonna be the Korean style of Shin.
Cool.
Which is gonna be really different from France.
All right. Any other players that you may know of?
Other Shin players. I do remember one from Texas, but I don't remember the name, to be honest. I think he was on one of the Texas bar fights. One of those videos, but I don't remember the name of the guy.
Okay. I think one Chin player that I know of and a lot of other people know of is Kane 317.
Kane 317. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually waiting to see if you would
No,
know.
I got him confused with Kane 9999.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, Kane doesn't play Shin. Yeah, but I do remember it because he's the one that's editing the actual wiki for Shin, isn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Cool, man. All right. Well, closing out, why don't we just recap a little bit and just tell us some general do's and don'ts for new Chin players?
Well, basically, don't overuse your counter or your parry, the quarter circle back kick. If you don't overuse it, you should be fine. So that's the only thing that can actually mess up your gameplay when they start to read your counter options. or your counter timings. The deuce would be to learn your kill combos. That goes for any player. That goes for any character. Learn your kill combos. They're not that hard. If you look at my videos, you're gonna be able to see a couple of combos that are really easy to use. I'll go ahead and release a video for Shin combos, Shin tech, and anything that I can make about Shin. It should be like a 10-minute video, and I'll go ahead and try to link it to this podcast. Learn your stance cancels. When you're able to do stance cancels consistently, you're gonna be a really big threat for any player out there. And drink anytime that you want, but don't get emotional about losing drinks. Them and take a drink again. So don't worry about that.
Okay. All right, cool, man. I think that's about it for this episode. Thanks a lot for your insight, man. It's always a joy.
And I appreciate you for the opportunity again. As I mentioned in the other podcast, this is a really great opportunity to get the information out there. As I mentioned before, YouTube is not enough. Combo videos are not enough, and you really need to get in touch with the community in order to reach them.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. Well, we're out of here. We just finished talking about Chin Jinsai. And that's about it. Peace.